I'm Britton, and I think I know what the movie I just watched is all about. I think I do. I just saw A Complete Unknown, the Bob Dylan biopic, and I know what it's all about. To not be single, you need to know how to play the harmonica and the guitar. That's what the movie's all about. I think it is. I think. That's what the movie's about, right?
Well, she's pretty. Sings pretty. Maybe a little too pretty.
Your songs are like an oil painting at the dentist's office.
You're kind of an asshole, Bob.
Starring Timothée Chalamet, with performances by Edward Norton and a great cast of supporting actors, this movie, A Complete Unknown, tells the story of Bob Dylan from his humble beginnings to him becoming a huge folk music legend and his transition to being a rock and roll icon. For a person who knows nothing about Bob Dylan, never heard any of his music, I found this movie to be really educational. And that's one of the most important things that a biopic can do. Biopics are supposed to take this icon and the subject and put a magnifying glass on them. We want to find out what makes this person tick, what makes this person the icon that they are, what the creative process is, the relationships that they had with people, and this movie does a fantastic job really humanizing Bob Dylan and really showing us the type of musician and person that he is. I love how this movie shows how Bob Dylan music was impacted by what was going outside of the world, what was going on with the country, what was going on with society, and that all came back to him just writing these songs and putting his heart in these songs and making music that just reflected the times and the culture. And it was just a great journey to see why he is such an important and beloved musician. At the heart of the movie, you have Timothée Chalamet, who is a great actor. And before this movie, and in his career, he kind of was a complete unknown. But he has just been taking these roles and just transforming himself into every role that he gets. He is phenomenal in Doom. He's phenomenal in Lady Bird. And here, he does some of his best acting I have seen in his career. He sounds like Bob Dylan. He sings like Bob Dylan. He has the look like Bob Dylan. He walks like Bob Dylan. He moves his face like Bob Dylan. In the first couple minutes of the movie, when you see Timothée Chalamet, you don't see Timothée Chalamet. You see Bob Dylan. And I think that's the most important thing in a performance. You don't want to see this actor. You don't want to see this big name actor. You want to see this character. There's a lot of actors today that you just see, oh, it's that actor just playing in a movie. Oh, it's just that actor doing the character. But in this movie, you don't see Timothée Chalamet. He disappears. He used the makeup, the hairstyling, the costumes, and he just transformed himself as Bob Dylan. And that takes a lot of work. I always say that acting is hard. Acting is definitely a challenge. I have tried before at school, and for an actor to play another person, to get in that mind frame of that person, that's a different challenge. And Timothée Chalamet is just committed to that and committed to becoming Bob Dylan. And you can just see how in control Timothée Chalamet is in his performance. How he is determined, how he is just putting himself in this performance, and it is truly beautiful. He taught himself how to sing, he taught himself how to play these instruments, and because you see him doing it, and because you see him really doing it, it's not dub, it's not a voice double, it feels real, it looks real, and it just is an amazing performance. You just see Timothée Chalamet, he enjoys being an actor, he enjoys performing, and he wants to give the best possible performance for audience to enjoy. And that is just something that is amazing that is happening in this industry. Just seeing a person enjoying the craft, enjoying acting. I really love it, and it's a beautiful performance that really helps to make this movie.
Must a man walk down before you call him a man? How many seas must the white dove sail before she sleeps in the sand?
I also really like Edward Norton's supporting role in this movie. He plays this very positive musician who's very positive and uplifting. He never gets negative in the whole movie, so it's really great. Every time Edward Norton is on screen, you just see this very happy-go-lucky guy, and Edward Norton is just transforming in this performance, and just, I mean, I had to ask my friend, I was like, is that Edward Norton? Because the makeup just colors his face, but you can see Edward Norton because he's a really good actor. He does amazing supporting work. I love seeing him in supporting roles because he just steers the show, and in this movie he does a beautiful supporting job too, and the rest of the cast does an amazing job. They should put the main performance, the main characters, all these actors are dedicated in their roles. They know what this movie is about, they know the themes, and all the actors are amazing. There's also this one actor who plays Johnny Cash, and I think it's funny because the director of this film directed the Johnny Cash biopic, Walk the Line. So it's funny to see that this director is directing another actor playing Johnny Cash. And the actor who plays Johnny Cash is just incredible. He looks like Johnny Cash, sings like Johnny Cash, moves like Johnny Cash, and just gives a very different performance and different version of Johnny Cash than Joaquin Phoenix did in Walk the Line. And the rest of the cast just is incredible. Give these really gripping and beautiful performances. This is a great cast that loves to act and knows what acting is and what it should be.
Great to see you. They made around the world in 80 days, huh?
It's a magic carpet ride. Just full of wonder. Full of wonder.
This is Becca, by the way.
Nice to meet you. This is my wife, Toshi.
Nice to meet you. I absolutely love your music. I'm such a big fan, Mr. Seeger.
Pete.
The music in this film is phenomenal. You get to hear all the classic Bob Dylan songs, and the way it is placed in the movie is amazing because it tells the story, it structures the story, it structures the themes, all the stories, all the themes. The whole movie is structured around all these songs, and it's just incredible. And just all these actors singing and seeing them on stage and perform all these songs are amazing. And I love how all these musical numbers are different. Sometimes the musical numbers are used to show the relationship between characters. Sometimes the musical numbers are to introduce a character. Sometimes the musical numbers are showing us how a character is dealing with the culture changing and with the historical events. And sometimes you're seeing Bob Dylan performing, and we're getting to see his creative process with the way he performs in the recording room. So all these songs and musical numbers are used with purpose, and I just love that. The thing I really like about this movie is the themes. Bob Dylan made songs that reflect what was going on, like the Cuban Missile Crisis, the Civil Rights Movement, music about corrupt government, music about the death of JFK. He made songs that were how the culture was changing, and he took what was going on out there and he put it in his songs, and I love that because music is very important, and the themes of this movie is how the culture impact music and how music can impact culture. And that's amazing because if you trace the history of music, music was always used to deal with these events and the changing of times. And this movie is incredible. It's showing the purpose of why music is here in this world and why music is very important. And I just love that. And I love seeing how Bob Dylan was a creator and how he had that process of writing his songs and just putting his heart and soul in it. And that was really incredible to watch in this movie. I do love A Complete Unknown. It's one of my favorite movies of 2024. But if I have one thing I have a problem with, it's more of a nitpick. It's that it's hard to tell a person's story and a person's life in a 2-hour film. And, well, I do think there was some pieces of information missing that would have made sense to put in this movie. I think the writers did a terrific job at taking the information and his life events and putting it in this movie to tell the story that they were telling. But still, you can feel like there's some pieces missing in this movie. But at the end of it, this is a really great movie. This is an incredible experience. Keep listening to Bob Dylan music. The acting is phenomenal. This is one of the best biopics I have seen in a long, long time. This is great filmmaking. Great, real filmmaking. Very personal, and it's a terrific movie. So if you love Bob Dylan, if you love movies, if you love acting, if you just want a good time, get your popcorn bucket, bring your guitar, and check out this movie because A Complete Unknown gets 4 out of 5 stars from Britton. So check it out and let me know. And remember, you're like a rolling stone, do, 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 do. And keep on dreaming.